use those, hook it up to your push that.
I don't know if it goes into my breaker box, I don't know if it goes to another plug and it's dead there.
You got something wire outside, like.
No, there used to be a plug-in out there.
Well, I don't know, anyway.
And then there's a plug that goes from it to the kid's bathroom. And it's unhooked. So I bet you it's gonna be on GSCI breakers somewhere.
I wonder if you,
But I've only got the two GSCIs in the house, one in the kitchen, one in our bathroom.
wonder if you need those bills that you and telephone, plug it up to the wire.
Like when they go to the line on and stuff like that, I get it up to the end of the wire and then you want to do.
I just need to figure out how to fix this, because that's the plug and hook in my trailer. And right now we're having to run an extension cord from my shop to my trailer.
There's just one.
Oh, no, it's 3 wires. It's in.
It's dead.
Yeah.
And there's all your breakers on.
Yeah. I just walked out there and grabbed it and it didn't drop me.
Yeah, but any other breaker panel?
You doing the chili cook-off?
Not doing the chili cook-off. We're cooking chili out there.
Well, no, I mean, they're having one out here at the deal, that's what I'm wondering. Slice,
Because then if I could figure out that,
and cornbread.
I could fix my outdoor plug-in and then I could fix the one that did
They don't have the GFCI in their section.
No, it's just a regular plug. So it has to come off of the GFCI somewhere.
It's not happening.
I ain't blue though.
There you go. That's, I have no home too, but there's some of them with wiring and padding.
Well, see, we ran into a deal when I first got my bed.
There you
One day we
go.
didn't have any plug-ins. And so I hooked the deal up to them and it said I had that brand. So I called the manufacturer. This is like 2 weeks after we left the house. So we bought a brand. I called them and they're like, okay, we'll send a technician out. He comes out like a week later. And he's back there for like 5 minutes. He's like, okay, it's good. All my plug-in works and everything. Okay, good. And then here, several months later or whatever, I went in there and took the breaker panel off. All he did was disconnect the ground wire. Yeah, he taped it up. That's all he did.
And,
So that tells me there was a short somewhere.
in your panel, is there a bar that runs from the neutral bar and the ground bar? Is there like a little black piece that goes with it? So you shouldn't have one there because it should be bonded wherever your finger base is, it should be bonded there. A lot of times if they're bonded in more than, in multiple places, it'll cause weird voltage or so.
I mean, I've wired everything up out my house.
Yours are accepted, you know what I mean?
Question.
And I could run a new wire to it, that's not a problem. But I wanna know where that one comes from because it may not be the wire, it may be
Yeah, that would be cool, every time you said a word and the last track goes on. Question. We did it up there in North Carolina.
Yeah, right.
Shooting and all that. All right, North Carolina Mall, that seasonal trucker on a highway, there's trucks that's on. All right, I can ride real good, my wife was threatened. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, you don't, them guys are pulling people out of the front, you know.
Oh, they would pull me out of my truck.
Oh, yeah, I've done something.
If they stopped me, I just can't damn four-wheel drive.
You didn't do anything.
But people trying to block them and they just
Yeah,
have to
walk the road.
Well, that's like that, they stopped
That's
it.
against the law anyway.
They blocked the car. At his trunk rally here a while back, they all surrounded his car and flipping them off, calling all these racial names and stuff, these white people. They literally sat there, you can see the girl and the guy in the car, they were scared shitless.
Oh, yeah.
All these Hispanics sitting there beating the windows and beating on the car. They actually set the car on fire from the back bumper. Yeah, they were spray painting the side of the car and everything. I was like, there is no way in hell I'd sit there for all that. I ran every damn one of them from the.
Then backed up.
Yeah, that's what.
I'm pulling my gun. You come close to me like that, first
But on
time.
in instances like that, you're better off just gunning it. And the reason is, if you pull your gun,
They're not.
I guarantee there's probably 20 of them out there. You can't sit there and get all 20 of them.
Well, yeah, but you take off in your own home, guess what you're getting? If you are home.
No, because you can still say, that's what people understand. If you feel like your life is threatened, how you protect your life is what you do at your disposal. At that point in time, your easiest way to protect your life is the gun.
There's old bright and cheerful. Oh my God. I heard that was when you looked this morning when you got out of bed. You trying to figure out every morning.
I asked him all day, I was like, so what time do you want them up here tomorrow to help you do it? He's like, well, it's not gonna take you long to do it, I can do it. I'm like, well, I know you can do it, but some of the wives are gonna want to let you know, help you. Well, I guess if they want it, help, they can come out if they want it, but I can do it, this ain't gonna take long. I kinda got the hint that she's like, let me do it. And then I took a chili recipe of it.
Oh, yeah?
She's like, yeah, because it's well, you just make sure they know this is a okay.
I didn't have plastic on it, I can make it. That's it. Traffic, emergency traffic management system. So you gonna be able to Saturday? Yeah. No. The Saturday one, train around. I don't want to.
You can't do train.
Yeah, I can do that if I want to.
You have to be an instructor.
Oh, wait?
Yeah.
That's perfect.
You have not a Tim's instructor, but you have to be a state approved instructor. So whether I don't know if you're a
If you
firefighter.
look on that, it'll say you have to be firefighter one instructor. That's what Andy wants you to do, is take that firefighter one instructor. He want anybody to be a trainer. He's trying to get Tommy out of it. Tommy's teaching that.
Yeah, about, and thanks to serving or whatever.
I get one from guys every year that says, "Kiss
Well, we're live, so if Lee decides to get on here in a minute, they can. If not, we're gonna go ahead and start. First thing is you guys have any questions over the thing you're studying?
Yeah, I got one. I think.
Guess that's a no. Oh, hey, there's Crystal. Okay, good deal. Hello, Crystal. Did you just join from your phone, or are you at Leedy?
No, I'm at the ambulance barn.
Okay, cool.
I'm
So the first question was, do you guys have any questions over the things that you're studying?
You're so funny.
Nothing?
No.
Okay. So I spent the whole entire day today making the test. You are correct. 101 questions. But here's the cool thing. We're not going to sit here in class and do this. I did it on Google. I'll send you guys a link here in a minute.
You cut out. I can't hear you when you turn away.
Sorry, my bad. I did the test on Google Forms, and so you guys will have until Monday to get it done. If somebody doesn't get it done, that's fine. We could arrange another way for them to get it done. I know that some people don't have internet or whatever. But I will be sending out a link here in a little bit for the test. The thing about it is do not use your book on it. Just take the test, see how you do. Guys, I'm not affiliated with the university. I'm doing this through an EMS service. So you guys aren't going to get a grade. The grade is simply so that we can see where you're at. So in order for you to get a true feeling for where you're at, okay, so just you need to download the app on your computer. So we know where you're at. Please don't use the book. Probably make sure you have about, I'd say 2 hours to rush. I think most of the questions you guys probably get. You guys that long. You checking the kind of.
Hey, Rob, for some reason, the audio is not coming through.
Is it still not? Or
Okay,
am I just getting too far away from it?
I think so.
Okay, sorry about that. We'll try again. You like you being this close?
Okay, go for it.
So if you guys don't have any questions, I'll go ahead and send out the link tonight. If everybody gets the test done before Monday or before class on Monday, we'll just what's that? You don't have to email it. You'll know your grade as soon as you click on the answer, or as soon as you submit. As soon as you submit, you will know what your grade was. Okay, it grades it and everything. So I don't think the questions are too hard. I did put some in there that were kind of difficult, as in you'll need to read your chapters to get the answers. I think when I was going through it, we've gone over almost everything that's on there. There's just a few that you're going to have to. I think if you just went with what we went over and you understood what we went over, you probably should get around and read your book. It should jump up quite a bit. So use time to study if you feel fit. If you're ready, you can take it. I mean, I'll send it out here in a minute. You can take it tonight. I don't. What? And that's fine too. If you want to wait, I'll wait till Monday. Yeah, you can only submit one. That's another thing. You have to sign in with your email. It'll take it. So I set it up to only one response. You can go in. I don't have a time limit on it. There's no way to put a time limit on it. I do want you to put your start time and your end time in. So I can see how long it takes you guys to do this. That way, if it's taking everybody 2.5 hours, 3 hours to do this, be honest with it. Understand, hopefully our next test won't be quite as long because we will just be doing one unit at a time. Or do you have a time off and all those? Okay. If you start taking it and you get called out, you can leave your computer on. As long as somebody don't mess with you, you'll be fine. Google will not register until you submit it. With that being said, you guys can study, or we could go ahead and start on chapter 9. What do you guys want to do tonight? You do chapter 9? Is that right, Crystal?
That's good.
Okay. All right.
Have you done something different with the sound though? Did you change anything?
No, let me try this. Let me try. On your computer, do you have that little speaker plugged in? Did
I don't
that
know.
help at all? Here, did that help at all?
Okay, try it again.
Did that help at all?
I think it did, yeah. I don't know what you
Okay.
did, but it sounded.
Okay, I'm not sure which one of these I messed with to make it. Anyway, it's working. Yay. Cool. All right, let me go get the slides.
I'm only,
We'll go ahead. What's that,
I'm only,
Crystal?
I'm only hearing like every 5 words or something. It's just, I know you're right there, but it's cutting.
Yeah, because I'm sitting right up next to it.
I don't know. We'll try it.
So before I forget, let me send out the link to the test. I don't. I'm going to disagree with you on that. I mean, the only thing that's gateway because of the people around. The people around. They're wired. I mean, okay, you already have. Yeah, you already, I mean, but you already have a personality to be addressed if you're going on the map, right? I mean, so I don't think it is, but it's personal experience. I never cared to do anything more than smoke a little weed. So I mean, and I don't know. I mean, all right. Crystal, can you hear me better yet?
I heard that.
I turned your volume up on your computer. You might see if you can turn it up too, see if that helps. Or I might reset my computer. My computer's pretty laggy. So maybe it's my computer. Is it still just about every fifth word?
All right. Well, I've messed with the cords and I did everything.
Is it still cutting out?
Not if you don't move, I can hear everything.
Okay. I'll try to sit right here and
Okay. all right. There we go. Ron, check mine, guys. We're gonna go ahead and get started now. I did send out the link for everybody to be able to take a test. Chapter 9 will not be in the test. It's recording new instructions. Anybody have a single pen to see what chapter we're in, chapter 3? Yes, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do it after each section. Yeah, because the two sections made it a lot more. The objectives you can find on page 220 of the book. Looks like there are 11 different objectives. So define the concerns, describe the unique responsibilities of the one who arrived first on the scene. Describe each of the following 5 components of the scene conduct. Guys, this 3 will be pretty important. Okay, so your scene safety, standard precaution determination, resource determination, number of patients, the mechanism of injury, and naked. Very important. You'll need to know that for your patient assessment. Okay? I sent out the skills check sheet, and that had your patient assessment. That's for us to get to the class night to look at that. Whenever we get caught up, and we're going to start looking at the skills check. Right? explain why scene sizes must continue throughout the call. I'm gonna try this, Chris. I'm gonna try to mute you and see if that helps it out. Or maybe she tried.
Hey, I muted you because I couldn't hear, and that might help, but,
Okay. If it doesn't help, come back on and let me know, okay?
okay.
All right. Explain why scene size up must continue throughout the call. Anticipate hazards associated with specific types of calls. Recognize indications of violence. Give a scenario involving scene violence. Use cover. Okay, yeah, great. Recognize indications of hazardous material. Survey the scene to determine the number of patients. Determine what standard precautions. Understand once you actually start doing these things, a lot of these things will happen simultaneously, okay, or almost instantly. You'll get a lot of this information. So let me go back a slide. Oops.
Hey, there was a question on our. Did we get yesterday?
Uh-huh.
It was talking about scene safety and stuff. Remember that part? Mm-hmm. It said what to do. Something about throw a bag at him or something. Yeah, what should we do? And we all put run for cover and concealment. Mm-hmm. But if you look right here on this one, no, throw your bag at him to distract him, then run.
Yeah. Distract, then run.
So that one was one on there that said throw your bag at him.
AED,
Yeah.
was it carrying the AED bag or whatever bag it was, throw at them and then run? But the answer was
The
jump
answer
off
was
and
run
hide
for-
behind bushes.
Yeah.
That's some of that wrong answer.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, whenever you come across conflicting things, make sure you go back and what you did, read the rationale behind it. So, all right, topic, scene safety, physical hazards at the scene, mechanisms of injury and nature of illness, resource determination and number of patients and standard precautions. I think I probably said it a few times, but your safety is the most important and scene safety. So you want to make sure, ensure the safety of everybody that's around, okay? Physical hazards at the scene. You're going to determine mechanism, nature of injury and nature of illness. Resource determination, number of patients. This is somewhere where I feel the fire departments could do a lot better job at. You guys, a lot of times, are the first ones to get on scene. And it really helps an EMS unit if you could tell us how many patients there are. If you could tell me there's 5 critical patients or whatever, I could get more resources rolling. Or if you're confident enough, you could also request more resources as a fire department. But make sure you communicate with that incoming ambulance to let them know, hey, you have 5 patients. We've already requested additional 3 additional ambulances or whatever. So, all right. Scene size up. Scene safety, standard precaution determination, resource determination, number of patients, and mechanism of injury or nature of illness. Let's see if they say anything in here. Oh man, that doesn't look good. What's that guy do? Jump off the bridge?
That's what I'm looking at. The blood looking at his face looks like he may not have made it.
So environment. You are at work in a paint shop and dispatch. Your employers ask you to help because he knows you're an EMR. Let's see what the call is here. The call is you receive a call from a man who has fallen ill in the paint shop where you work. You're an emergency medical responder for your local fire department, and your employer usually comes to you when something happens. Today is no different. What do you think your first question will be regarding the scene? No. No. It's your number one priority. Is the scene safe? Right? Next thing we're going to determine is what body BSI do I need? Body substance. All right. So, gloves on, scene safe. So, scene safety. Electrical wires may soon come down. So, guys, this is not a safe scene. I would get PSO or whoever the electric company is in the area to get that shut off. What's that? Yeah.
Where it's coming from, Alpha,
Wouldn't, if this went ahead and fell on you and you were getting this patient out, you wouldn't be the first fireman to be electrocuted on a scene. All right. Identifying violence, signs of fighting or violence, signs that alcohol or drugs are present or unusual silence. We had a call just, I think this last weekend, and our people were called to a call where the lady wanted us to check the man out because he got out of the pickup and was walking. So, you know what would you think in this situation? They got into a fight. What is your most dangerous call as a police officer, or one of your most dangerous calls with domestics? Because they could turn south real quick, right?
I got to get over the back of the head with the freaking broom. You know, taking the guy to jail, just get the shit out of her.
Yeah. So I texted my crew. I said, hey, this sounds weird to me. Stand off until sheriff's department gets there. And sure enough, it was he got sick of hearing her yap, and he got out and walked. And, you know, yes, it turned out to be nothing big, but that's not a normal call that you get called to. Let's say that she called and said his blood sugar's low and he got out of the truck and was walking. Does that change that whole call for us? Yeah, it definitely does. Because now they give us a reason, but just she wants him checked out because he got out of the truck and was walking. To me, says there's something more than what dispatch is telling us. And so, guys, do not hesitate to stand off and wait for the police department or sheriff's department. And I get the argument from my people, well, it takes them 45 minutes to get there because they're, you know, the sheriff's offices across the county. You know what? So be it. It's a drug overdose, and, you know, we don't know whether it's an intentional or not because dispatch didn't tell us. We don't need to go in on that. So there's crew in Wichita that went in on a drug overdose without the scene being cleared. This is back before that happened. And the guy sitting there with a gun. Well, they turned around and left, and it was one of those situations. He's overdosing, and he was going to kill anybody that tried to stop him from dying. So you got to be very careful with it. You know, another thing that I just, and Leda, you guys are gonna, the people at Leda, you'll hear it in your own crews, but you guys have to make a change in the culture of your service. But we know everybody here. Well, we know so-and-so. But do you know so-and-so when they're not taking their psych meds? Or do you know so-and-so whenever they've snapped? You know, and that's what you gotta understand. Just because you see him at the bank, say hi to him, they're a nice guy, doesn't mean you know everything about him. Anybody heard of the BTK Strangler, Wichita, Kansas?
Yeah, yeah.
So the guy was a permit officer in Wichita. Went to church, was a deacon of his church. So do you think anybody really knew Dennis Rader? No, they don't. And so don't get caught in that mentality that, oh, I know so-and-so. No, you don't. You don't know them whenever they maybe got slipped some PCP or took some PCP. You don't know them whenever they got some bad meth. You don't know, you know, and so be careful with it. I'll kick that dead horse, but you know, I hear these excuses all the time out here. So, response to violence, spot violence early and avoid it. Distraction, cover, concealment, and retreat. And we just found out from a test question or whatever that if you get approached by this guy, which is wearing a pretty sweet Red Sox hat. Oh, and he has a baseball bat. Throw your bag at him to distract him and then run. Okay? And you know what? I wouldn't stop in the porta potty. It's not really all that safe. He looks like a pretty big dude. I think I could outrun him. So. Yeah, and all you have to be is exactly. You just have to be faster than your partner. Okay. So physical hazards at the scene. How many? Did your fire trucks? You guys carry binoculars in your fire trucks? Yeah, we don't either. We don't carry them on the ambulance. So this scenario, is a great idea. I don't know where I'd stick a pair of binoculars, and I don't trust my crews with binoculars. So a lot of times dispatch can give you a lot of really good information, and sometimes they can't. But if you suspect a spill, see some weird hazy fog, it might be time to back off and find out what it is before you enter. These well sites, they have the H2S gas. Those guys are usually pretty good about knowing what's going on, and don't they have alarm systems and things like that on the sites? And they're not going to let you on that site.
They did have a guy that actually last year, the year before, right out here.
Yeah, but always be careful. Always, guys, EMS is one of those jobs. Fire, police, you got to keep your head on a swivel. You always have to be paying attention. Whenever you get comfortable enough that you stop paying attention to your surroundings, is when you're gonna get in trouble. So, and even sometimes when you are paying attention, you still get it. Now, guys, I'll tell you something else. Listen to your gut. All right. So, listen to your gut on things. If it just doesn't feel right, there's a good chance that something's not right. I ignored my gut once and got stomped. So, anyway, hazardous materials, maintain a safe distance. Terrorist incident, guys. This is sad, but this is getting to become more and more regular in the United States. Luckily, they don't really want to come out to Western Oklahoma because, let's face it, there's not enough people to make impact with one device or whatever. Oklahoma City, that's a different scenario. You might find yourself, at Oklahoma City and something happen. But potential for large number of patients. Scene may cover a large area. Large-scale operations run by incident management system. Evaluate scene carefully before entering. Use extreme caution due to risk of secondary devices. At one time, EMS and fire and police didn't really have a good system. The Murrah building bombing actually was the ushering in of the NIMS stuff. Because you had a whole bunch of agencies coming in, and everybody was a big pissing match who was in charge, and there was not a whole lot of coordination. And so after that, you started seeing the development of NIMS and things like that. I need to send you guys out the link to do the NIMS online because it is supposedly a prerequisite. But I guarantee you, if you come and work for me, I'm not going to make any promises on Leedy's side because I don't know if Kim is requiring it. But if you come work for me, you'll have to have your NIMS 1, 2, 7, and 8. Yeah, and
most of us have it.
And most fire departments are pretty good about it because if you don't have your NIMS, you don't get paid for the incidents you participate in. As a matter of fact, I believe that you could make somebody else not be able to get their money if you participate.
I've got more than just those. I've got a couple others. My position.
Yeah, I have 1, 2, 7, 8, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Anyway, I'm gonna go. That last slide. Something that you guys might think about here is meth houses. Be careful, especially when it's a known drug house or you see a lot of containers. I think, what would you say you want to look for to be leery of a meth house?
We look for stuff that they use to cook with.
Okay.
I mean,
So
a lot of times for us, it's too late. We're already in the house.
You're in the house. I got you.
A lot of that stuff we try to smell because if you've ever been around that house, it has a real pungent odor to it.
Okay.
So we, approaching the house, we're smelling to see if it smells like that.
Gotcha.
But once we get in the house, you can tell. I mean,
Are you guys noticing that they're using more of the shake and bake or
they
the?
can cold cook.
Yeah. So they're
Right.
the cookhouses really are kind of going away.
Around here, and they used to use ammonia a lot. They don't do that so much.
Okay. The shake and bake could be very dangerous because they're shaking a lithium and something else, and it gets super hot, super fast. So be careful.
They also do them on railroad tracks. So if you're walking on railroad tracks and you find a little plastic bottle, so we've had people that actually pick them up with just the pressure change if you grab it.
Ooh.
Fall off hands and stuff like that.
Wow.
We found some of those along this track right here, leading other towns here too.
Leedy, I think every year your high school does a trash pickup. I highly recommend you guys get with OSBI and at least give these kids things that they should not touch, because it could be a very dangerous situation for these kids out there doing good for their community. So environmental hazards, traffic, extreme weather, other considerations. I heard some other guys talking about it in here about the TIMS class. So traffic, I think Oklahoma's gearing up to kind of get everybody on the same page on a scene, because it's required by EMS now to do TIMS. I'm going to do the train the trainer on Saturday, so I'll be able to do TIMS courses for Leedy and Roger Mills, probably Berlin Fire Department. But traffic is one place that you are at high risk. I've seen it time and time again. They get focused on the scene. They just kind of walking without looking where they're going and almost step out in front of a vehicle. Luckily, I haven't seen anybody get hit yet, but I have seen people not paying attention. Make sure that you pay attention on these scenes, especially traffic scenes. And obviously, extreme weather, dress for the conditions. So you're going to determine the mechanism of injury or nature of illness. Can't read tonight, sorry. So what do you think the mechanism of injury is here? Rear-end collision, right? Yeah. So yeah, what do you suspect could be going on with this patient?
Neck injury.
Yeah, some neck injuries, right? We haven't really got into the trauma stuff yet, but yeah, you guys can already start to imagine what injuries this patient might present with, right? So your mechanism of injury here is a rear-end accident. Right? So motor vehicle collision, you have a head-on collision, you run the risk, the patient, they could do an up and over, which is the patients that go up and over the steering wheel, usually hit the steering wheel, and then they'll hit the windshield. So you're going to look for certain injury patterns in that. And then you have the patients that go down and under, and they're the ones that are crumpled up in the floorboards. You'll see a different set of injury patterns with that. Let me see if they go into that in here before we move on. I don't want to. I'm just reading the little bulleted points to see what they're talking about. Yeah, so on, oh man, eat the steering wheel, right? On on page 231, you see some of the different injury that you're looking for, or injury that you could have. So in a head-on crash, the patient can be forced in either an up and over pathway of motion or a down and under pathway of motion. The yellow dots indicate areas of potential injury due to these mechanisms. So on the up and over, it looks like you're going to have head, chest, neck, and pelvis. Where the down and under, you're going to have knees, thigh, hip or pelvis, and I'm not sure if they're saying arm or back there, but it wasn't real clear. I'll see if they got a definition. So. Oh, hey, there we go. Look at that. So this is when you get that big push out in the windshield. Now understand, guys, that just because you see this indentation in the windshield doesn't always mean that you had a up and over incident. They might have been seatbelted in and the airbag went off. When that airbag pops, a lot of times it'll bust that window. You've seen that, right? Whenever you do it. So.
Or stuff flying out of the back seat.
Yeah, or stuff flying out of the back seat. Now, if there's a big chunk of skin and hair in the windshield and some blood, and they're bleeding down their face, and you say, "So did you hit the windshield?" And they say, "No, I didn't. I had my seatbelt on." Yeah, no, you didn't. There's a down and under. So. We kind of talked about the different mechanisms of injuries that you might have, or index of suspicion for a rear end accident. Let's see if they go into it. So, yeah. So here you have the whiplash. So you have the initial forward, and so the body's moving forward as the head goes back. Have a high potential for neck injury. If you don't use your headrest, you're stupid. All right? Because that headrest will save you in a rear end collision.
Well, now that they're vehicles, I think they don't even have headers, so it's like the seats are.
Yeah. Well, all my Toyotas have adjustable.
Except that one there.
Yeah, no, that's a Harley. A Harley doesn't have an adjustable headrest. We pretty much just assume that you're just in for the ride on that. Side impact. So here here's the two red arrows are the initial impact. So this is your initial injury, and then you have the possibility, same thing, neck injury, and then here's your secondary injury. So they hit and hit their head on the windshield. So I'm not sure if they'll get into the types of injuries that you'll see. Hey, look, there's a motorcycle. I hate seeing that. It's not cooler than put in this book. What are they doing? Shit. Yeah, I haven't seen very many motorcycle wrecks.
Between Grimes and Dempsey Road, that curve,
Yeah,
he missed the curve.
yeah. Who did?
His wife used to work at the hospital.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, yeah. He
He's the one that had the deformed hand.
yep. You gotta kind of wonder what happened there. I mean, that
I
guy.
saw all of it.
Oh, did you?
I was coming to Shane and he was coming around.
Yeah.
The cement truck.
we just
the
talked
oil
about.
company.
Yeah.
I seen just caught a glimpse and I thought, he's dragging a hose. But he wasn't dragging a hose. He was behind, real close behind the truck. He just came around it too quick, and when he did, he went down in the ditch, and the way he's going around the curve, he hit the ditch, and he tried to slow down, and when you're in grass on a motorcycle, you're not gonna slow down. Well, when he got to the other side of the ditch, it threw him up in the air, and he went airborne, and he flew off, and he did somersaults, and then his bike was right behind him doing somersaults. If he would've went straight, he'd went right through the barbed wire fence, but he curved like going around the corner, and that's how he did.
That barbed wire fence.
Mike got turned around and went back over. He had blood coming out of his ears, his nose, his mouth.
Was he helmeted? Not that I don't.
It's a new bike, well, not brand new, but it was a newer bike.
Yeah, he had been riding a smaller bike.
He sold it.
Yeah.
And the money that he got out of that, he bought this one. It was one that had the fairing on it,
Yeah.
the street light.
So I wonder if he just wasn't.
I think he maybe not paying attention and the curve came up one too quick.
That's why I don't. I mean, I don't like. We're a little off topic, but that's fine because I'm only gonna do one section of it. But I don't. They have all these gadgets and shit for these motorcycles,
No.
and I have the speakers on mine. I'm gonna take them off. Because I want to pay attention to the road. I enjoy riding. I enjoy looking around, but you got to be.
Other people,
Yeah, and you have to pay attention. Going off the road isn't just no little thing on a bike. So
my deal is the wire radiator just on this.
Yeah.
In a truck, when you get past it and then blows you over close to it,
yeah,
I'm jumping. If I'm heading to that barrier, I'm jumping. I hope there's a big team wheel coming the other way. That way it ends quick. I ain't getting tore up in that shit. Who was it? There was one over at Up City.
There's several over there.
Yeah, that motorcycle ran into the metal of one of them wire barriers, and there wasn't much left of them when they got over the thing.
oh man.
So that, yeah.
So anyway, here's your rollover collision, guys. Rollover is a high you have a high mechanism of injury, okay? Because each time that you roll over, you have a new collision on that vehicle and a new set of contact points. So remember that whenever you get there. A lot of times you'll get to a rollover accident and they'll be fine. But what's that?
I was in one in 2014. I got hit by a semi.
Enrolled.
Yeah. Rolled up. I don't know. I used to never work with seatbelt. I put my seatbelt on a mile before it happened.
What?
Yeah. I was headed to work, put my seatbelt on, and the wind was high, and he caught my front end, and I went towards the cable barrier, and I fell with that. And I tried to bring it back straight, and I went straight through the ditch. Once I get the exit road, it was,
Gotcha. You know, everybody's pretty scared of those cable barriers.
I've seen them work. I mean, I've seen them not going there, but.
they prevent the head on,
Right.
but a lot of time, well, I've seen them flip over the cable barrier because they're only yay high. So. Whoops.
She looks like she's late.
Yeah, she's crying. Rotational collision. So we'll read these. A rollover collision, vehicle that rolls, causing multiple points of impact. They didn't have ejection on there, but ejection result of an unrestrained passenger leaving or partially leaving the confines of the vehicle during a collision. I had 2 within a month that were ejected on on a rollover, and they ended up both of them pretty bad pelvis injuries. So wear your seatbelt. A rotational collision, vehicle struck in a corner and or caused to turn. So whenever it hits, it goes spinning, if you will, versus the rollover. So motorcycle collision can cause serious injuries. Currently, less than half of the states require that all motorcycle riders wear helmets. Determine if the patient was wearing a helmet or not. There are several patterns you may see, including ejection over the handlebars, side impact, laying the bike down, and then they go on the laying the bike down is the last one. The only fatalities that I've seen on motorcycles are guys that weren't wearing helmets and their heads were mush. I couldn't really find any other injuries on them. If you wear a motorcycle or if you ride a motorcycle, I encourage you to wear a helmet. Robert's like, I don't wear a helmet, you'll break your neck. So, okay. So
I'm getting full.
I got 3/4 right now with the face, and I'm probably gonna go to full face.
They got an out on 129.
No, yeah,
That the whole.
Flip up.
Yeah, the whole deal
Yeah.
flips up. Friend of mine's got one.
I like my 3/4, but I'm want that protection.
If you get caught in the rain, like I did Saturday,
Yeah.
it's like somebody hit you in the face.
Oh man, I got caught in the rain one day. I hated it. So injuries from falls, factors to consider: height, part of the patient that struck the surface the patient fell on, and whether anything broke the patient's fall. Yeah, you know, guys, it's all great and dandy, but I'm going to tell you, I've seen patients in really bad condition that didn't meet the height requirement or things like that. And I've seen patients in really good condition that fell 2 or 3 times the height requirement. I think it's, believe it's 15 feet. You want to read the chapter. From my experience, yes, you need to go ahead and package them up, C-collar spine board. But you know what? You need to assess that patient, obviously, right? Don't just say, well, they fell from 20 feet, so they have to be critical, or they can't be critical. They fell from, just they're standing on a chair and fell. I believe that we had a basilar skull fracture in the Sweetwater area not too long ago from a little kid standing on a chair or something and fell and hit his head on the concrete. So. All right, so the call. You begin observing from a distance and notice a man on the ground. You know there are several drums of solvent and chemicals in the area normally. As you get near the door, another man comes out to get some fresh air. Then he vomits. So should you go in, and what else could you look for or ask before you approach the scene to determine why people are sick? I probably would not go into this scene. I'm just going to tell you that.
Especially if he comes up to a body.
Yeah, definitely. You have one that just went unresponsive, one that's coming out vomiting. Okay, so when I was working in Topeka as a pretty new medic, we had some the guys going into the manholes, and I think it was for electrical work or something. They run those electric lines in cities down in the manhole. So they go down. The first guy starts to go down the ladder, and he just falls down, and collapses to the bottom of the ladder. So his friends are like, "Oh no!" So they go down. The next guy is going to go down. He falls and collapses. Well, you would think the third guy would be like, Third guy does it. So there was 3 guys down in this manhole, and the 4th guy finally calls 911. So there's 3 guys down in the manhole. 2 of them died. 1 of them ended up making. I don't know if it was like a methane leak or an H2S leak into that manhole. Or they never found out what it was. But guys, that's just an example of do not go in whenever you have people going unresponsive, whenever you have people coming out and vomiting.
Well, do a lot of them carry those sensors now?
The H2S. Yeah.
We used to have no business. A lot of people, they have them out on location.
We have them on our ambulances. Yeah, somebody donated them to us. The resource determination and number of patients. Guys, this is going to say something a little different than how I believe your resource determination number of patients should happen in Western Oklahoma. Especially for Lady, Roger Mills area. Sarah, you're a little different. But guys, a lot of this kind of centers on the fact that you have readily available resources close by. But you got to understand, out in Roger Mills County, I have 1,100 square miles, and sometimes I'm going over 30 minutes to get to one of these crashes, maybe even 40 minutes. Okay? If I wait until I get on scene to determine my number of patients and the resources I need, I'm already behind the ball quite a bit. So one thing that I try to do is, as soon as I can, is I try to find out the number of patients. But let's say that you have a head-on collision. How many patients do you know you're going to have if you have a head-on collision? 2, right? So you're going to have at least 2 patients. Get another unit rolling. Any accident that we have out in Roger Mills, I go ahead and launch air evac. Whenever I have a head-on collision, I go ahead and call for a second helicopter. Why? Because there's one sitting in Weatherford, there's one sitting in Woodward, there's one sitting in Altus, or there might be one that's not coming. It's coming from Wichita Falls. Okay, so me being out there, I can package that patient and meet that Wichita Falls helicopter. Pretty much their landing is I'm pulling into the Elk City Airport, and then they can take that patient on to Oklahoma City. So don't hesitate to call for additional resources before you know, but that's not what the book's going to tell you. All right, the book's going to tell you that you want to get on scene, you want to determine your number of patients, then request additional resources if necessary. So
That's the big city.
that is the big city, or closer units are always available. So adapt and overcome. I just want to see what they say for sure. Perhaps once or twice in your career, you may encounter a call with dozens or hundreds of patients. More frequently, you'll encounter calls with 2 or 3 patients who will pose logistical challenges to care for. See figure 911. See if they're. I just want to kind of see if they're saying. Where's 9? Figure it out. It's just picture that MCI. So here they're giving you with 4 patients, a crash on the interstate with 4 patients. Okay. So a lot of these are going ahead and telling you how many patients you have. That's great.
That's where they do it the way it looks at it.
Yeah.
Way.
You're not going to, I don't know. Do you guys get number of patients whenever you guys are called out to a car wreck? Sometimes? Okay.
Well, it was like 3 weeks ago. We had area back, they had that wreck over there. And of course, we meet the area back out here behind the McDonald's. Well, the chief of police, who over there, who's also an EMT, he said, yeah, we thought about calling you. And I said, if you think that you need an extra rescue with dogs or whatever, Have them take this out.
That's
It's
what I'm
not
talking
gonna hurt
about.
that.
We can always 1022.
Oh, man,
You can
I'm
always turn around.
trying to get Darren to understand that over at in Roger Mills.
We can always 1022.
I get on scene,
We've been 1022, as soon as we get up there.
rarely will they go ahead and honor my request for a rescue.
Yeah, see, one of our biggest issues here, and my biggest pet peeve is anytime we have an accident on I-40,
They should,
I think we should roll the rescue.
anytime you have an accident on a highway, period, this,
But they won't do it here. They'll roll it until an officer is on scene. And I'm like, yeah, but by then you may have wasted 5 minutes of this person's life. That's the difference between living and dying.
At one time, that was the highway patrol and Beckton County Sheriff's Department. They, I don't know how many times they had wrecking out most of the
Just
time.
like a rollover.
Never even called us about it.
Just like on a rollover. Anytime there's a rollover, I don't care if it's in the parking lot at the school. Roll the rescue.
yeah, no, I agree. So standard precautions. Standard precautions protect you from disease, identify the two types of protection needed, and always ensure you have additional personal protective equipment. On my ambulance, we have obviously we have boxes of gloves for everybody, but we have full sets of PPE, and we carry four full sets of PPE or personal protective. That's gown, gloves, everything for full isolation of yourself. But then I also have individual masks, individual goggles, and things like that. So I think having the proper equipment is important. So that got though. So all right, the big picture, scene size up, guys. This is the first. This will be the first step. The scene size up will be the first step of your check sheet for your patient assessment whenever you're doing your National Registry skill checks, okay? So the big picture, scene size up. Assess the scene for safety. Goes on, right? Goes on, assess the scene for safety. Examine the mechanism of injury and determine the number of patients. How many patients do we have here? One patient. Radio for additional resources if needed. Let's say that these are 2 firefighters or 2 EMRs, or maybe these are 2 maybe basic EMTs. What do you think additional resources they might need?
You may have to call rescue because there may not be a way to get down there, so you're gonna have to have ropes or
Okay.
possible air evac.
Okay, air evac would be a good one. And whenever we talk about air evac for testing situations and things like that, request ALS intercept or request advanced life support. Okay, because this guy is obviously beyond a basic. He's actually beyond a paramedic as well. This guy, he may be beyond a surgeon, but that's what he needs. All right. So, yeah, good job. Determining, do we need that rescue? Do we need something to get down there and pull him up? Do we need that? Well, we probably need that aircraft, unless, for whatever reason, you're 5 minutes from a level 1 trauma center.
Right.
You always think about these things, and then determine standard precautions. And they're put at number 4 for whenever you do a testing station. You want to say gloves on, scene safe before you do anything else. Okay, I know that they're putting it in this order, but you want to move this one right up here to assess for scene safety. Okay. All right, read this chapter. Gosh, that's only 7. Serious? What's that? Let's go ahead and take a break. And then I'm just gonna go through like I have been and go through this book, this chapter, and we'll talk about the different things that the slides kind of had to skip over. So take a 7:15. Come back at 7:15. And we'll be done. I'm gonna try to be done by 8 tonight.
On 2?
Yeah.
On 228?
Is that? No. One question.
Oh.
What if a guy's waiting and comes running, usually have a question or anything?
Is he stabbed with the weapon? Well, that right there, the
That's
answer
what
to
we
that,
don't know.
the answer to that is
Yeah.
retreat.
Right, well, that's what I was thinking,
Yeah.
but are you gonna at least talk to him?
No, retreat. If he's coming at you with the weapon, it says that he is comes running at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if he's running help, but he's still got the gun.
Drop the gun. I mean, if it's a gun, just get the hell out of it.
Right.
Me, I just draw my gun.
I can't even see him over
Keep it on, baby.
No light.
See, that's the problem they have with some of my answers like that. So if you get an EMR, you should probably retreat.
Yeah.
Police officer, I'm gonna pull my gun and say, stop, you know, stop.
Oh, you want to decide to go over and do it?
No, we're not talking to David.
No. So now we're
So we
studying.
could be sitting here studying for our tests that we have. No.
Where your cops are at? This is 2 months you've been off duty.
You got to drive when you're not on duty?
Huh?
Wow. Jail, Matt.
Why do other people?
I don't know.
No. We only drive ours when we're on duty.
Did you ever see that Texas DOT rollover deal? They got a truck set up to show you what it looks like without
Oh, okay.
the seatbelt.
Oh, what they at?
They put it down here, but they were taking it around to schools and stuff
Let's see.
to show them, that's it.
And then you're wondering what that is and what you're doing here. Well, that's the rollover. And the unlikely soul.
Yeah, so you can't take that with the
Bring it back. Two. Sorry.
Yeah.
Anywhere in your book where it says Tampa,
Erica is contacted by the Texas Department of Transportation to travel around and let people know why wearing your safety belt is so important. Did you know that most people don't have a concept of the folks that are involved in a crash?
Oh, how many people I see so.
Phillips City do that before.
They don't wear seatbelts in town.
When we're out at the racetrack, they're like,
What are your folks
"Stay
doing?"
ground." I'm like,
Drives the nuts.
"It's like, well, we're gonna
If you
free."
think about it,
They feel free.
did you know that wearing your seatbelt
Who done that?
doubles
You
your
did.
chances of not being
No, it don't taste it, Gibber.
Common race cars, because the other free gets so hot, they smell like their home.
Erica?
She's over at Clinton, at the dirt track racing. They never use that free.
They just don't water.
Straight water, yeah.
See what happens.
Oh. Man, there's another one. There's one of them, I mean, yeah.
I guess we're just number one for application.
What are we gonna do here?
I think disregard the dispatcher and approach the scene and find the safety. Yes. Because dispatchers are always right. Actually, that's not the
There you go.
I'll just have to go there and do it. Yeah, I'm gonna do something. Is that the good nation? Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Who's trying to fit all those? They had one, they had a guy that they pull it, as they're pulling, and their legs, they made it through this, and he was on the first row, he was halfway out, and then when the truck came down, landed right on it. It was,
On which one?
236.
Oh.
236.
Number one is index of suspicion.
Are you working on chapter 9?
Number one. Right here.
Hello.
Hey.
I'm going back to the text.
Okay. All right, I'm good.
On your email, do you click up here, or do you click on fill out form?
Yeah.
Rob, what? On your email, do you click up here or down here on fill out form? I didn't want to click on it.
I think you can put it on either line.
Okay.
How did Haley, that's what I thought, I said, as soon as I clicked it, I'll be taking it.
Yeah, if I'll click on it, it'll be like, sorry, this is no longer available to you, you just failed with the, no questions. Where's that Beaver Lake at?
Beaver? Beaver Dam?
I'll just text him and say, did you tow your boat behind the motorcycle?
That call?
Yeah.
Oh, it's south of Fayetteville.
Eureka Springs, Arkansas.
Yeah, it's south of, I was part of their rules. Now, where they're at, you're way up on, so. I-40, you're probably a lot more traffic. You're 30 miles in Arkansas, 40 miles. Yeah, it's right north, it's about 40 miles south of, Fayetteville. It's beautiful country down there. Used to the long term, always.
Remember that big tree I had right next to my driveway? We cut it down to my week.
What cardiovascular hospital is it?
They're looking at like on the heart, back,
Mercy.
and we're gonna have one.
St. Anthony, they're more of a,
They might have a heart.
well, I know they got the cancer deal there. You are correct.
Look at the following and quickly conflict with the most annual agreement related to. Yes. Then you have that. If you have to other little things that most commonly cause occupants running backwards, they will learn to
Can we get copies of the test after the second?
There's only a call like that, some people consider it.
I tell you what makes me nervous about traffic accidents out here is you got all your question marks and all that, people still pretty on the butt.
Well, see, that's something I talked to Robert before. We don't emphasize enough on the fire department. Even though we got all those little flashing lights out there,
Oh, yeah.
a lot of the guys still don't watch. They don't pay attention.
Somebody out there.
I throw my flashlight when I was on the race, my patrol car. I threw my flashlight into the grill of the semi. If he come by out there on the interstate, doing probably 80. And we were right, like this part of the bottom line. He could scoot over a little bit and I threw my flashlight through it. He lodged a complaint, but it didn't go far.
Every wreck that I was on, or probably our first year, we had one rescue at one end, and we had rescue at the other end, and we were on traffic. Well, now we got those signs, and where they at? We never use the truck. That truck's supposed to roll with, rescue. But it never does. There's a placard on there, but you're gonna have to drive, you're gonna have to go to one end and put them up.
And usually during the day, with the manpower run.
You know what?
Usually during the day, not manpower run anyway.
Well, Terry said that I could go at any time, and I said, well, if it's
All these boys, yeah.
something small, you know, unless they actually need help, so if you need help, call. Man, what's your number?
You can reach me at 911 most of the time.
I thought I had your number. I guess I'm sure.
374-1658.
I already got it.
Bill, how many years? I have like 30 in here.
Mine,
You know,
what's yours, Matt? Hang on there.
I got 3.
What was it?
374-1658.
Ready?
Yours is an 1881, but
Nope.
3118. Is it 390635?
That's it. That was the last time I tried to keep it. It wasn't, you know, keep it. What was Joseph doing about? His dad, his granddad died. And they got, you know, with Congress. And then the driving all the way back to, maybe bury him out here. You didn't know me.
All right, so nobody's at Leedy. It's just us.
Good for me to go home and study.
If you guys want to. It's up to you guys. We went over the one chapter we did. I was just going to go through this and look at the different headings and stuff. But once you take the test, you're going to need to read this chapter anyway. So. I don't think this chapter is all that difficult. It's especially for guys that are in the fire service. I mean, this should be just pretty much.
That's all we deal with.
Yeah, I mean, you should already be doing a lot of this stuff anyway. Now the car wrecks, you're going to be learning some new terms. Most of these terms you guys already know just from life: rear end, rollover. I would definitely get to know what kind of injuries are associated with each of the ejections and things like that. See what this little table says. They have a good table on 9.1 of what you're kind of doing. So scene safety, observed for violence, hazardous materials, environment factors. It's on page 235. And other things, the scene that may pose a hazard to you, the patient, family members, or bystanders. Call for assistance from departments, i.e., or e.g., police, fire, and teams, hazmat, as necessary. That's your scene safety component. That's what you're doing during that step. Standard precaution determination. Hey, look, they moved it up. Take appropriate precautions to prevent exposure to blood and body fluids, right? Gloves on, scene safe. Resource determination. Do you have all the help you need at the scene? Do you need specialty teams like we talked about? Do we need a ropes team to get down and get that guy up? Vehicle extrication or utility companies because of downed wire. Call for the help you need at this point. That's all. That's going to also include a higher level of care or additional EMS units if necessary. Number of patients. Be sure to call for additional patient care assistance early. Call for additional ambulances and personnel in proportion to the potential number of patients. So we don't always know that, and like in Roger Mills County, a lot of times a wreck, we'll go ahead and we'll send 2 ambulances and we'll turn one of them around if we don't need it because it takes so long sometimes to get to the wreck. Mechanism of injury or nature of illness. Observe the scene for factors that may have contributed to the patient's injuries, e.g. falls, damage to vehicles like rear end collision, rollover. In the case of medical patients, scan the scene for clues to the patient's medical problem or condition. I think that's a pretty good chart there. I mean, it's not difficult information, but it kind of sums up what you're looking for, so that you have a good idea what you're looking for. Line 2, there's another table. This table just kind of goes into what you see or what you're told and what you call for. So it's just helping you determine additional resources. It'd be a good thing to skim over. Here's a standard precaution decisions. You guys are just continuing on. We already kind of gone over the standard precautions on this first units, right? So we're just kind of continuing on. One thing we're adding here is a car crash with broken glass. I'm not sure what they're going to say there, but old bunker gear or some services have bunker gear is a great thing to have on an ambulance. Or if you're going to help out, wearing your bunker gear is a great thing to protect you from that glass. You have those the gauntlet gloves and stuff like that. I don't think that chapter should be too too difficult, we'll continue on with the patient assessment on Monday. I'll try to, this one we'll start getting into, this will be kind of new for you guys. We're talking about the APU scale on Monday. If you guys can, if you have time, go ahead and read through chapter 10. Get your test done and everything. Go ahead and get read through chapter 10. It'll help out. You're looking at me like I'm crazy. So I know it's a lot of reading. Guys, I was thinking about the other day, what do we have? We're going to have less than 5 weeks left. So.
5 weeks starting Monday.
Yeah.
5 weeks for the first one.
All right.
That's not enough pictures.
If you guys had the material down as well as you did whenever you're answering those questions, I think you guys will be fine on the test. First, we're going to use some determinations. You know,
He said, you just said nothing about us not working together on the test. I've got like 5 questions I can set up right here.
no. Using
River! I love you. I love you.
all right. So, just a reminder for anybody that's watching the video: do your test online. Get with me if you have any problems with it, and I'll see you guys Monday for chapter 9 and 10.
So this morning,